my doom! CNN has just made the biggest and most catastrophic error and has finally opened themselves up to the just retaliation that they have courted, oh, for so long indeed. They have chosen the name of those who will bring them down. They are legion. They are anonymous. They are relentless. Hi, Paul. Hi, 4chan. Hope you guys are doing well. Would you like some jolt? I think you might need it because really the feigned piece is over. And now the phony war is over. And it is time to dig in and start getting things done. This from CNN.com tonight. The Reddit user who initially claimed credit for President Donald Trump's tweet that showed Trump tackling CNN issued an apology Tuesday for the video and other offensive content he posted, one day after CNN identified the man behind the account and attempted to make contact with him. All right, so I'm going to just break this up so everyone can sort of follow along. So let's just say you're a bit of a shit poster, right? You enjoy making funny memes and so on, and you take this 2007 tackle that Donald Trump did on Vince McMahon at some WrestleMania event, and you put CNN logos on it. Kind of funny, cozy 20 minutes of work. You post it, a couple of people laugh, and move on to whatever is enjoyable next on the internet. And then you find out that Donald Trump, someone in his team or him, well, they reposted it with a bit of music and so on, and it kind of became a really big thing. And you're like, wow, that's pretty cool. And you move on with your day. And then, well, I guess in your private email, you get a message from CNN saying, we've tracked you down, we know who you are, and we want to talk to you. Well, I guess that makes free speech a whole bit less fun now, doesn't it? And that, of course, is the entire point. To move on with the CNN article, Reddit user Han A, not his real name, but Han A Solo, first shared the GIF last Wednesday of Trump pummeling a wrestler with CNN's logo imposed on his face. Shouldn't that be superimposed? Anyway, goes on. CNN could find no earlier instance of the GIF. The GIF was later edited into a video with sound and tweeted by the president on Sunday. On Reddit, Han A. Solo took credit for inspiring the tweet. Soon after, Han A. Solo's other posts on Reddit, some of which included racist and anti-Semitic imagery, quickly circulated on social media. And then there's this big apology and so on. You can look the article up yourself. After posting his apology, Han A. Solo called CNN's K-File and confirmed his identity. In the interview, Han A. Solo sounded nervous about his identity being revealed and asked to not be named out of fear for his personal safety and for the public embarrassment it would bring to him and his family. So, see, that's important. See, CNN, very, very concerned about violence against people, and if this guy's name got out, I mean, you know what would happen. Like all the black-clad, skinny-jeaned leftists with lots of time on their hands would find this guy very easily if they published his name and city or whatever, just his name maybe. They would find him, and his employers would be contacted, and his wife's employers would be contacted, and his children's teachers would be contacted, and they would just... Death threats would pour in. You see, they're very concerned about violence and threats against journalists that might come out of a silly GIF of a desktop that wasn't even real to begin with. They're very, very concerned about the potential for instigating violence. So obviously they'd never, ever, ever want to reveal the name of this person, because it seems to me that would be a pretty clear clarion call for unholy levels of crap to descend upon this guy's entire existence for the rest of said existence. The article on CNN went on to say, CNN is not publishing Han A. Solo's name because he is a private citizen. See, not there? There, you should stop. Now, the reason why this guy deleted all of his posts, I would assume, is partly because he was contacted by CNN, and also because he was contacted by CNN, he realized that he left a trail of breadcrumbs across the internet that led to his front door, and so he probably didn't want to figure out exactly how they jumped from thread to him, so he just deleted everything because he was concerned that other people, CNN has a big incentive, but other people might find a way to figure out who he is as well. So, CNN is not publishing Han A. Solo's name because he is a private citizen who has issued an extensive statement of apology, showed his remorse by saying he has taken down all his offending posts, and because he said he is not going to repeat this ugly behavior on social media again. Now that is a very, very interesting way of putting it. We're not going to publish your name and destroy your life because you're a private citizen. Now that should be it. That should be it. But they put a bunch of caveats, right? Not publishing your name because you've really, really groveled and apologized. You've taken down the posts which we find offensive, and because you've promised not to do this stuff again. So that's why we're not going to dox you and publish your name, because you have complied with our wishes and taken down stuff we find offensive. CNN goes on to say, in addition, he said his statement could serve as an example to others not to do the same. That's interesting as well. We got this guy, we dug and found this guy, and we could publish his name, but we're not going to because he's groveled and complied with everything we want. And just in case you didn't understand, we're just going to point out, he said his statements could serve as an example to others not to do the same. No funny memes, everybody. No shit posting, no mild trolling, no making fun of people, no doing satire, no none of that stuff. Now, just in case anyone didn't get the message, and this to me is the most chilling part of this entire article, right at the end, this is what CNN says. CNN reserves the right to publish his identity should any of that change, right? So he's apologized, he's deleted his posts, he's never going to do it again, blah, blah, blah. But CNN reserves the right to publish his identity should any of that change. We are watching, we are policing, and if you don't toe the line, if you make fun of us again, if you do anything in the exercise of your complete First Amendment right to free speech, if you do things we don't like of that we might find offensive, well, we're just going to publish your identity and let the chips fall where they may, because the feral violent leftists will now know exactly who you are and where you are, and welcome to almost never going out without looking over your shoulder and darting from shadow to shadow for the rest of your natural-born life. Now, to CNN, I can only say, I guess drunk with power and goaded into mad overreaction by Donald Trump's tweet of a GIF, how stupid do you have to be to do something like this? So, Andrew Kaczynski, right, CNN, said, when he was accused of threatening this guy, or CNN was accused of threatening this guy, of blackmailing him, of extorting him, and said, well, you apologize, you deleted your post, you're never going to do it again, but if you do, we'll dox you. He said, FYI, Han A. Solo just called me, and basically said, I am in total agreement with your statement. I was not threatened in any way. Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Sure. You know, the guy whose livelihood and family and future I could destroy like that at any moment just called me, and he told me he totally agreed with anything that I had to say. Are you kidding me? CNN. Threatening a private citizen. Have you never heard of the name Gawker? I mean, where are your people with some understanding of the internet? Andrew Kaczynski also tweeted, Han A. Solo posted his apology before we ever spoke to him. He called us afterwards to apologize further. Now, that's Weasel Word 101, right? Because, okay, he posted his apology before we spoke to him, but not before you contacted him through email. If you said he posted his apology before we ever had any contact with him, that's one thing. He posted his apology before we ever spoke to him, well, that's just a little bit different. And who knows what the content of that email was, although I kind of have the feeling we're going to find out at one point or another. Andrew Kaczynski also said CNN specifically chose not to reveal this guy's identity, and to say we threatened anyone is a total lie. Yeah, sure. Yeah, didn't threaten the guy at all, except for the fact, or the part where you said that you were going to dox him for exercising his right of free speech. Oh yes, CNN, don't make any fun of us, or we'll publish your identity. How is that not crippling someone's constitutional right to free speech through threats and extortion? And this is the thing. Oh my God, CNN, what have you done? What have you done? You don't get it. You don't get it. You think, oh, we're with this big, giant multimedia, multinational, multimedia, multi-billion-dollar corporation. Oh, he's just one guy in his mom's basement. You know, the cliche. He's just one guy. We're big, we're strong, we got an FCC license, we are the Godzilla. He's just a little ant. Come on. He's not one guy, CNN. He's not one guy. He's everyone on the internet. Everyone who enjoys making fun of those in power. Everyone who enjoys making memes. Everyone who enjoys shitposting. Everyone who enjoys mockery. So you think you're this big monster Godzilla beast in the room. You're Smog, he's just this little hobbit. No. Oh man. There's poking the bear. And then there's sticking a fork in a dragon's eye. And then there's throwing a hand grenade into a supernova. And then there's the end of the universe. And somewhere way beyond that is this moment. What you have done. CNN, what are you doing? After these last 2 weeks of unbelievable escalating domino disasters, are you absolutely hell-bent on proving the circling the drain, death spiral, Pareto distribution, end times of the organization? Is this really what you want to say to the American people? Not only do we think you as Americans are, and I quote a CNN associate producer, stupid as shit, we will hunt you down and ruin your life if you make fun of us online. I mean, CNN doesn't have no clue. They seem to have no clue whatsoever. It's just this guy typing away, causing more problems. CNN doesn't seem to have a fucking clue. They just attacked and threatened the entire anonymous internet. You know, the people who found the bike lock professor attacker and ended up with him getting arrested. The people who found Shia LaBeouf's flag because of little airplane contrails in the corner of the picture twice. Do you not hear the cry? Cry havoc and let slip the balls of war. I don't know. Isn't doxing someone or threatening to dox someone a little bit against Twitter's terms of service? Hashtag CNN blackmail, please help us out. It's astonishing. I don't know. Do they not hear the click of the bear trap that calls in the meme airstrike? See, if you make fun of CNN, they'll finally figure out how to do basic reporting. They'll track you down and they'll threaten to wreck your life if you don't obey their commandments to shut the hell up and stop exercising your basic human rights to free speech. That's what happens if you make fun of CNN. But you see, if you attempt to assassinate the president, they'll shiver with excitement. They'll lick you up and down as a hero as they interview you. It's a very different situation then. And this goes to show mainstream media, it's across the entire West, I believe. They're not in the business. They have no interest to inform you. They want to control you, you see. And this is a primary example of this. See, what CNN has shown is that they have the capability and the intelligence and the technology and the basic keyboard typing skills to track people down based on internet footprints, find out who they are. Hey, I wonder if CNN has ever done this with violent leftists. Or has that been left up to the people they're now cornering? Oh man, you guys, you don't know. You'll find out, but you don't know yet. Oh man. Now, Julian Assange has asserted that CNN just committed a crime, violating 135.6 of the New York criminal code regarding coercion. And I leave this here for your edification. You can look into it further yourself. A person is guilty of coercion in the second degree when he or she compels or induces a person to engage in conduct which the latter has a legal right to abstain from engaging in, or to abstain from engaging in conduct in which he or she has a legal right to engage. Right? So in other words, don't post stuff which we find offensive on the internet or we'll reveal your identity to the feral left. Right? It's perfectly legal what he posted. I mean, so yeah, he's got the legal right to post what he posts, to say what he says. And if you compel someone to refrain from engaging in contact, legal right to engage. And there's more to it. I'm just sort of giving you the highlights, right? So if they prevent you from exercising your legal rights by means of instilling in him or her a fear that if the demand is not complied with, the actor, CNN, or another will, 1, cause physical injury to a person, or, this is skipping a few down to 5, expose a secret or publicize an asserted fact, whether true or false, tending to subject some person to hatred, contempt, or ridicule. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Well, I think for sure that if this person's identity gets out, I'm sorry to tell you, man, but you are going to face some potential for physical injury or danger. And expose a secret or publicize an asserted fact, whether true or false, tending to subject some person to hatred, contempt, or ridicule. It seems to me, I'm no lawyer, but it seems to me, open and shut case of criminal behavior. We'll leave it for the courts to decide, and there are already murmurings that something like this may be underway. I mean, I know it's after hours. Don't you have a 24/7 general counsel you people could call to figure out this stuff, whether it's even remotely legal to threaten to dock someone for exercising their right of free speech? Oh, I'm telling you, it's not going to just be CNN too. Other legacy dino media corporations are going to report on this. They're going to take sides, and they're going to screw it up royally. I'm perfectly happy to tell them in advance that they're going to screw it up because, I mean, come on. All the competent people either aren't in the mainstream media or left the mainstream media years ago when they saw which way the wind was blowing, which is basically the mainstream media going down the dinosaur dustbin of history. So, they think they're stepping on an ant, and then there's a giant shadow above them of what is coming down next. Hell will be empty because all the devils, the virtuous devils, will be circling CNN, because what have they done? What have they done? By attacking this guy, by threatening this guy, they have awoken a beast that will now strike relentlessly and endlessly. Because there are all these keyboard warriors out there, meme warriors, shitposters all over the world, who are sitting there saying, holy crap, what have I done? What have I said? What have I posted that CNN might find offensive, that they might be able to track me down? I can't delete everything. So CNN, they're going to say, all right, it's you or it's me. It's you or it's us. If this is how it's going to be, if you're going to track down people you find offensive and threaten to reveal their identity and destroy their lives, well, okay, it's on, CNN, and only one of us comes out of this intact. And this is going to be one of the great shows, one of the great conflicts of the early part of the 21st century. This is historic. So, my friends out there on the internet, please do it peacefully. Do it legally. Doesn't have to be nice, peaceful. Through language, you have all the power that you need in the creative genius of your fingertips. So I say, shitposters of the world, unite and fight! You have nothing to lose but your memes.